Hello everybody, this is Engin Yilmaz from Yolda Initiative and Alliance for Mediterranean Nature and Culture. I am a member of the Iyrp Global Coordination Group and also Global Communication Team. And also I am one of the co-chairs of the European Regional Iyrp Support Group. Let me start with why we needed an international year for rangelands and pastoralists. There are many reasons, but there are three main ones. The first one is to increase worldwide understanding of importance of rangelands and pastoralists for food security, biodiversity, and climate crisis, economic resilience, and culture. One other reason is to inform decision making at all levels, calling for enlightened policy to benefit current and future generations. The third one is to mobilize people worldwide to address today's challenges and to grasp new opportunities in rangelands and pastoralism. As the Iyrp movement, we have been through a very long journey. Let me tell you about the milestones passed on this long road to approval of the Iyrp. It started with 2002, the Denali Declaration on Mobile Peoples and Conservation. And following that, the International Rangelands Congress and International Grasslands Congress in Mongolia, which took place in 2008, was the moment where the idea arose. There have been several milestones along the way. Some of them were really strategically very important. And at the end of this road, in August 2019, the government of Mongolia proposed Iyrp to FAO Committee on Agriculture, and meanwhile Iyrp International Support Group became the support group to Mongolian team. Following the proposal of the government of Mongolia to FAO Committee on Agriculture, there have been three steps that we successfully passed. The first one was, of course, the endorsement of the Committee of Agriculture in October 2020. And following that, the proposal was again endorsed by the FAO Council in December 2020. Just before the United Nations General Assembly, the last step was the FAO conference in June 2021, which again the proposal was endorsed. And now we are at the final step in the process. The draft resolution has been placed on the 76th UN General Assembly agenda for approval on 28th of 2022. So far, regarding the status of support for Iyrp, there are 26 countries co-sponsored the draft resolution along with the government of Mongolia, and in total there are 75 countries who expressed and officially stated they support this or that way. And regarding the support of the civil society, there are more than 300 organizations worldwide who expressed their support to the Iyrp proposal. These include the pastoralist organizations, but along with them there are many other supporting organizations, from development organizations to nature conservation organizations. Here you can see, this is an old picture, but still here you can see the representativeness of the supporting states and the organizations. It is almost representing all the world from different continents and countries. Of course, the structure of the movement in terms of taking action and governance was really important. And in addition to international global level bodies like the Global Coordination Group, Global Communications Team, there were multi-stakeholder regional Iyrp support groups created to generate more support and partnership. Accordingly, there were two main objectives, immediate objectives. One of them was to expand the network of supporting organizations and governments in the 11 regions, and also work with government of Mongolia and Iyrp International Support Group to plan and implement Iyrp activities in these regions. Let me tell you the regions: Arctic, Australasia, Oceania, Central Asia and Mongolia, East Asia, Eastern and Southern Africa, Europe, North Africa and Middle East, North America, South Asia, West and Central Africa. Of course, within these regional support groups, the central role for pastoralist organizations in these activities was a priority. Therefore, their representation was very well ensured. And as soon as they were established, the regional Iyrp support groups, there were some priority actions to be taken to continue generating support, convincing governments in each country and region to support Iyrp. In these lines, there were the organizations and the support groups were encouraged and urged to approach ministries of agriculture and foreign affairs in their countries, and also invite governments to co-sponsor with Mongolia. And one other action was raising attention at international meetings, side events, and inserting Rangelands and Pastoralists into official resolutions. And of course, for addressing the United Nations General Assembly, a highly visual online booth was established, and also social media campaigns were run. Regarding the non-governmental partners, these RISGs were also tasked with generating support, trying to recognize common interests and combine efforts of rangelands and pastoralism. And also, every Iyrp supporter was urged to use their personal and professional networks, and also find supporting partner organizations involved with SDGs, United Nations Decade of Family Farming, United Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, and etc. Of course, there were some frameworks which guided our work for getting prepared for the United Nations General Assembly, but also for getting prepared the year itself in 2026. One of the major one was, of course, the global framework of 12 themes for the year itself. And with this tool, the objective was to achieve during the Iyrp the best possible worldwide awareness and recognition of the value and contributions of rangelands and pastoralists to global society and ecosystems, so as to influence and launch beneficial country policies, legislation, programs, and development and research initiatives that would lead to sustainability of rangelands and pastoral livestock systems. There were some certain principles for selection of themes. Four of them were expanding awareness on the diversity of rangelands and pastoralists, of course highlighting new insights and the issues of concern to pastoralists, and balanced coverage between different themes. Here we can see the 12 monthly themes, and of course each country and the region should decide how they will celebrate the Iyrp during the year. The adoption of a global framework of 12 monthly themes will help to highlight urgent and topical issues, and also show how pastoralism and rangelands across the globe share similar issues and concerns. The inspiration for adoption of 12 global themes, one for each month, comes from many sources, from UN bodies to international level conventions like CBD, and also, of course, the meetings of the International Rangeland Congress and the International Grasslands Congress, and etc. Utilizing 12 monthly themes, each regional Iyrp support group is also tasked to prepare suggestions and guidance for Iyrp planning and implementation in their respective regions. The main purposes of the regional action plans are to spearhead regional and multi-country activities, to help coordinate national activities across the region, and to contribute to global activities. And each region, of course, are invited to identify their regional, even national priorities. And following the identification of the priorities, they are expected to prepare their action plans considering 3 phases following the approval of the proposal at the United Nations General Assembly. The first one is, of course, preparatory phase between 2022 to 2025. Some activities to be done in 2026 require prior planning and preparation, research, etc. And moreover, many awareness-raising, learning, and policy-influencing activities related to rangelands and pastoralists would need to take place already before 2026. And of course, as I said, inspired by the 12 monthly themes, each regional Iyrp support group is supposed to prepare their action plans for the year itself, and also to contribute to the global level activities from the regions and the countries. And of course, the third phase is the follow-up phase beyond 2026, especially some activities, particularly research and evolution, may be done after 2026. There have been, of course, a lot of actors and supporters in this process that we need to acknowledge and express our gratitude for their support and the actions they took, starting with the leadership of the government of Mongolia and, of course, all the supporters of the Iyrp. And this includes also the Society for Range Management. Thank you very much for this opportunity, for providing this opportunity for the Iyrp movement and your support in general. We are very excited to wait for the final approval by the United Nations General Assembly on 28th of February in a couple of days. And this has been a process and experience that we enjoyed really very much with all the supporters within the Iyrp movement. And we are very pleased to know that we are going to keep working together in this journey for sustainable rangelands and pastoralism. Thank you very much all. Goodbye.